G'day, D fans. We are with our seniors podcast here, Division 1 Women, as we go through some MVP candidates who we think are probably going to be their number one MVPs, and a bit of a discussion as to who's going to lie in this starting five and MVP race as the season comes to a close. Now, we're going to kick it off with Mildura because Tyra Johnson is the leading scorer, 23.9 points per game in just her 10 games. So curious whether she's going to be up there with having just the 10 games in the All-Star 5 at the end of the season. But her and Vanessa Power, two very, very tough opponents to come up against. Curious whether they've stolen votes off each other in a number of games.
100% they'll be stealing votes off each other. And they've had a couple of other girls step up in some big games. Stephanie O'Loughlin's been pretty handy in a couple of them, and Amy Saunders has had one or two where she's been pretty good as well. And but Tyra Johnson is definitely one of the best players in the league, as is Vanessa Power. It's a dynamic duo.
Yeah, Vanessa Power is fourth in points per game, 19. Moving on, Craigieburn, we have Courtney Strait, who is just absolute dominant, 21 points per game, 38% from beyond the arc, just shy, averaging a double-double of 9 rebounds per game.
Yeah, I think she's one who stands out for me because if we're talking about most valuable for her team, she's certainly going to be the one because she's always she's their strongest player, averaging just over 21 points a game. With their next best as a team, 9.6 points a game, Myra Wood. And, you know, when push comes to shove, you're watching a game of the Div 1 women at Craigieburn, you know who the best player is on the court.
Yeah, absolutely. A team who you're probably unsure of who is the best player on the court because these three girls chop and change all the time is Western Point. You got Massaloni, Rachel Winters, and Rachel Warnsborough.
Yeah, the big three.
I don't really know who I would say is my number one because they can all score the ball, 19 points per game, 15 points per game, and 14. Right, but then you look at the rebounds, Massaloni with 4, Withers with 8, Rachel Warnsborough with 12. You know, steals per game, Winters wins steals. You look at assists, Winters wins that again, but Massaloni is just behind, not too far. And then they all shoot the ball quite efficiently. Rachel Winters obviously just 17% from beyond the arc, but Massaloni and Warnsborough plus 30.
Yeah.
Mark, dissect that for me, mate.
No, it's not an easy one, that's for sure. And it's probably why they've seen some success this year. Those three can get going. I know there's been some injury troubles of late, potentially carrying some sore bodies and that sort of thing. But those three are all really talented players, and I can guarantee they've stolen votes off each other if we're going for that award. But I think they'd be more focused on trying to make sure they lock in finals and head towards a chip.
100%. Championship first, MVP second. Warren died here now. You've got Asia Strong as probably would be the number one if she played a few more games throughout the season, just the 5. She came as sort of a late addition there. But Emmy O'Neill, again, another very, very big one. Again, just 8 games for the season there. So an interesting MVP candidate race for the two of them. Bella Rain, you would think it'd be Georgia Varley with Olivia Vert just behind.
Yeah, I don't know. Their second cog is always so different. They got Berea Griffin. I think young Jamie Crombie steps up occasionally, and Lucy Howard as well. So they got a number of weapons, but Georgia Varley's probably been the consistent across the entire year. We know Olivia Vert had a huge month I think it was back in April, where she won the Player of the Month for April. But yeah, she's Georgia Varley's a standout for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Melbourne University now. Amelia Smith is probably the number one player here. I believe she was in the starting 5 in 2022, I think. But you got Maria Coburn, who's new to this Melbourne University unit, just played the 10 games. Another candidate here for this Melbourne University team. But then you got Madison O'Neill, who's bred a lot of experience into this side as well. But you'd probably say Amelia Smith.
Yeah, I'd be going Amelia Smith. Averaging almost 16 points a game is pretty important, and generally when they win, she's had a good game. So, over to Warrnambool, which is Amy Wormold, who's for me, she's the leader and she's the most important piece for them. Misses a few games here and there, has played the 11, but averaging almost 14 points a game and averaging 13 rebounds a game. She's clearly for me, she'll be thereabouts, and she'll certainly push for that All-Star 5.
Yeah, absolutely. Chelsea next, you got Ida Crow, who's played 11 games, 12 points per game to go with her 8 rebounds. Kelly Foster wouldn't be close behind, but a team that probably hasn't got enough wins under their belt to find some of their players in this MVP race.
Yeah, and you got to spread a scoring like they do with 5 players above 9.5 points a game, between 9.5 points a game and 13 points a game. It's going to be spread out pretty much. They're built by committee. And Altona, once again, another similar team, finding some success later on the season here, but they spread the load pretty well, and they've got players in and out. Jordan Wilson is probably their standout. She's played in 14 games, and she's averaging just under 14 points a game, and is able to do a little bit of everything for the Gators. So she would be the standout for me, Ted.
Yeah, no, I agree. Look, that'll be all for us today, guys. Keep it locked in Big V. We'll catch you all very, very soon.